So here's what happened.
I was in negotiations earlier today for a contract, and it was a lot of money on the table. In reality, maybe not a lot of money on the table. So we weren't really coming to an agreement on the amount. And then I said, you know what? Let me invoke Harvard Standard Time.
And I'm like, well, what is Harvard Standard Time? I just love
I'm so
me
proud
some
of
Coco.
her. I'm so proud of her.
Truly, truly, truly proud of her. She won in a spectacular fashion. She won $3 million, which was pretty much the same amount of prize money that the men's winner won. And we have Billie Jean King and Venus Williams to thank for that. But there was a clip I saw of an 8-year-old Coco watching Venus play in 2012 at the French Open.
That's so
yes.
time in your life where you are inconsistent with the things that you say you want. You know, you start to really examine your areas of inconsistency where it's like, I said I want this, but I realize I'm doing this, you know, and then you wonder why the thing that you really, really do want, you're not experiencing and you're not seeing. And I'm starting to understand that where... Hey, we are back.
Hey, girl.
And the autoresponder is on.
Amen.
This is the time I'm looking forward to.
This is literally the highlight of my week.
Every week. I love this. I feel like it's a big group chat with everyone, us, you and me in virtual, and all of our our friends and listeners.
Yes.
Tuning in. Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
Thanks for joining us again.
Well, what a week. What a week. So hopefully this could be the hour of escape for you all. Because this week has been actually my out of office this week is because America's doing the most. I need less.
Amen. I am actually plotting the escape routes to Canada. As you know, just go north. Follow the northern star.
What a mess.
I'm just a little bit closer to Canada. That's
like what is happening, y'all? Anyways, like I said, this is
the escape.
The escape. Okay. So what's your out of office? Or is it going north?
That is, I'm planning my northern route.
She's like, that's what
I'm currently out of office planning my northern routes.
Oh my God.
Just exploring the northern routes.
Seriously.
You know, there's ways. Just in case. Maybe I go to Canada for lunch.
And don't come back?
maybe I go and find a job.
And you speak French, so you can go to Montreal too.
Montreal, c'est vrai. Although Montreal French is very different. Quebecois is...
Yes, it is very different.
I feel like I have a hard time in Quebec.
Yeah, they have that. There's an accent to it that I'm like, what? Can you?
It's an accent. Again? There's different vocabulary. It's very.
It's its own sauce. It has its own.
It's got its one. Yeah,
it's got its own thing.
It's not mambo sauce, but they do. But they do have. Yeah, I went to a salsa class in Detroit, and I wound up partnering. One of my practice partners he spent time in Quebec, so we wound up speaking French, and I was just like, we'll see how this goes.
I love it. Well, what's on your sweater? Because is that some Aquarius?
You know, I represent.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I had to. If you listen to that last episode, if you know, you know.
Y'all were showing out on TikTok with that. Y'all really love that clip. It's really funny.
I had to represent.
Wait, but it does have pearls? I love this.
It has pearls. It has little bling. It's got the sign.
It's cute.
The water bearer. In French, that's verso. We said we were going to do a word episode. So verso for us Aquarians. You want to stunt
Wait,
on folks.
verso. What's verso?
Verso, that's Aquarius in French. But
Oh,
this is
cool.
Aquarius in English.
So verso is Aquarius in French. What's Aries in French? Do you know?
Je ne sais pas.
Okay. She's like, that's you
I,
doing too much, Nicole. You asking for too much.
Girl, I only know my own sign.
Exactly. She's like, what do you think this is? Anywho, well, let's get into the episode. Who's your ICU girl this week?
My ICU girl this week, we have the same one because there's only one. To me, this week.
Coco.
It was a big deal. So it's our girl.
I just love
I'm so
me
proud
some
of
Coco.
her. I'm so proud of her.
Truly, truly, truly proud of her. She won in a spectacular fashion. She won $3 million, which was pretty much the same amount of prize money that the men's winner won. And we have Billie Jean King and Venus Williams to thank for that. But there was a clip I saw of an 8-year-old Coco watching Venus play in 2012 at the French Open.
That's so
yes.
Aww.
Right? So she's watching the woman that was basically responsible for her to win the award, the amount that she won just last week. So it was really, really just, someone said that she looks like, someone was like, Coco looks like she just plays on the weekends. Like she's like that girl that's just really cool. She doesn't take it too seriously, but she does. There was a point when she won the semifinal, she was playing against a French player. And of course it's in France. So the crowd was rooting for that lady. And they were saying her name. And she was like, obviously you guys were chanting because France, but I was chanting my name. So hyping myself up.
You know what? She also wrote down like Gabby Thomas, not Gabby Thomas. Is it Gabby Thomas? Am I saying
the runner, the hurdler?
Yes. Okay. Remember when we talked about what she did to prepare for her gold medal in the Olympics, and she wrote in her notes app, I'm going to have a gold medal. I'm win a gold medal. So Coco Gauff evidently saw that, not from our podcast, although we love our listeners. But
you never know.
But Coco's not. I don't think Coco's listening yet. But she saw what Gabby did before the medal, and so she said, "I'm going to do the same thing." And so she wrote down. She showed a piece of paper where she wrote down, "I win the French Open in 2025." Like
that is
over and
so
over and over
cool.
again.
I love that.
Yeah, I used to do that too. I used to, when I really wanted to create a change in my life, I would write it over and over and over again. And it has happened. I remember I used to write when I was sitting in my office, when I was an executive in the music industry and I was working as a lawyer. I used to write, God, please grant me my freedom of time and geography. And I would write it over and over again.
Now, when you say write it, you would actually physically write it on a piece of paper. I would
write it I filled notebooks with it because I really meant it. I was like, God, please grant me. I just remember sitting in my office. I had a great office. I loved my job.
You had a great job.
It was my dream job until it wasn't. And I just felt like I had other things I wanted to do. And I would look out of my window. And I remember my window looked out at the Ralph's parking lot. And I just would look out of my window and just wish to be on the other side of that window, with the freedom of my time and geography. So I would write it over and over again. I drilled it down to like the most concentrated version of my wish, which is what it was. And I would just write it. That was my prayer. And I would just write it. I filled notebooks with it. I would just write it over and over and over again.
I think I need to get back into that practice. I'm so used to putting it in notes, like just typing it on my phone or typing it on my laptop. But I think that the actual act of like writing something down on a piece of paper over and over and over again, I think there's a little bit more intentionality about it behind it. So I think I need to get back into that because I want to make some things happen this year. So
it can't hurt. It can't hurt.
It's not going to hurt. If anything, it's going to help me sharpen what I want, right? Because if I'm writing it over and over and over again, it can change. It can be like, actually, that's not what I want to write. okay, maybe I'll write it this way. Maybe I'll write it that way. And I think that's cool. So I need to get back into it because look, Gabby's winning gold medals. Coco's winning $3 million.
It's working
and
at the
winning
highest
grand
level.
slams. So
right. At the highest level.
At the highest level. So let me go do that.
Yeah. I mean, I can't be like, I can't write, you know, I want to be my summer fit bod and then, you know, go scarf down the Wendy's Frosty that I really want that I saw with the Oreos in it. But but maybe I could on one day. But I'm like, I think you have to follow up what you write with consistency in the other areas of your life. But
that's right.
I do think there's just something to finding ways to focus in, laser focus on what you want and continue to recharge that focus. So.
That's right. That's right. Did you get a chance to see her Miu Miu New Balance campaign?
I didn't, but I would like to.
Fabulous.
Tell me it's in the show notes.
Fabulous. Yes, of course. Because she looks great.
You.
And the campaign, it's like, of course she's the face of Miu Miu and New Balance. Like it makes all the sense. And
I love that Miu Miu and New Balance are doing something together. I've been a Miu Miu girl for ages. So that was my little collectors. When I would go to my little trips to Europe, I used to have to go for work or whatever. I would cop myself a little pair of sunglasses or a little bag. I did cop a bag one time.
Yeah.
I got my little Miu Miu bag with the little crinkly leather.
Now I need to see a picture of this bag with crinkly leather.
Girl, I will show you. I'll send you. I'll send you a picture. It's super cute. It's like a very particular kind of soft pink color, and you know, it's that girl.
I love it.
We love Miu Miu.
We love Miu Miu. So what are we on right now? What are you on right now?
What I'm on right now, I've been on my defluffing era. So this has been a journey. I know I've been talking about this a lot, but it has been a spiritual journey, a spiritual quest.
Love that.
And part of that has been to be consistent in, like I was saying, the consistency, like realizing where my actions don't line up with my intentions. And so just working out every day has been one of those exercises in consistency. Because I think I hope I'm not the only person. Like, raise your hand if you're listening, and this is you too. But when you start to examine your life where you are inconsistent with the things that you say you want, you know, you start to really examine your areas of inconsistency where it's like, I said I want this, but I realize I'm doing this, you know, and then you wonder why the thing that you really, really do want, you're not experiencing and you're not seeing. And I'm starting to understand that where my consistency falls flat, you know, like I'm almost at the 6-week mark. I think I'm into 5 weeks. And for example, this morning, okay, my workout's not that hard. It's 30 minutes and half of that maybe is warm up, more or less. Okay. It's not that hard, but it's been very effective, but it's not that hard. But I did not feel like it. I was like, I was really trying to examine this because I'm a writer, overthinker, overexaminer.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? I don't feel like it feeling. Like I just didn't have the energy. I couldn't see myself doing it.
Yeah.
And so I had to just really push myself to just do the 5-minute warm up on the treadmill, which is, you know, part of the workout. And then eventually I did get into it, but I was like, another version of me would have not done it.
Right.
You know? So so what I'm on right now is examining where I am inconsistent in my actions and my habits versus my intentions, and trying to close the gap there. And so if it means every day, like writing something over and over again, if it means discipline and practice, then that's what I'm trying to instill. So, you know, I had this conversation with myself today, like every day you get up and you work out. Yeah. That is discipline. Yeah. That is how you create a lasting change in your life. And there's no way around it, you know? So that's what I'm on right now. My my practice of trying to better align my actions and my intentions, which I've talked about this before, but
yeah, you said, do your habits match your goals? I think that
right.
was something that you mentioned. I was like, I felt attacked.
And I'm sure
That
Poppy,
day.
he said I felt attacked.
I
Right.
felt attacked. I was like, dang, why she gotta put me on like that? No, but it was really the
You
kid that
did
jumps.
feel attacked. I
I
remember
did.
that. You were like,
I
what
was like,
pissed you off?
are you talking to me? No, but it is hard because like sometimes you just don't want to do it. Like I can tell you, I think I'm a little burnt out, honestly. I don't know if
Yeah.
there's such a thing as being a little burnt out.
There
but
is.
things are just a little, not a lot. Because
Right.
there are things that it's just that just come very naturally to me that was just really hard for me to do this week. And I was just telling my mom the other day, I was like, I am just tired. And she was like very confused, like, and she was also like, maybe you worked hard. I was like, no, I don't think it's that, because I do work hard because that's not naturally who I am, but I do have support. Jackson's a great husband. Lisbon is a great kid. My team at work, they're great. Everything's cool. It's just that now I've gone past ennui, because at first it was ennui. I had this bad case of ennui, but now it's like, it's it's giving I need a vacation, but it's also like if I could do a sabbatical, I would, because I really just want to not just lay up on a beach and drink and whatever, which I do want to do that, but I do want to find time to just be, so that I can just think and read and really kind of be a student of life again. And
I feel
like,
you.
you know what I mean? And just like really
you.
explore what it means to be here, what it means to pick up this mantle that I think I'm picking up, which is, this is part of it, which is like building community and making sure people feel seen and allowing people giving them the space to do what they need to do, whether it's, through this community rebuilding or even through work. Like a lot of the things I do with storytelling is like, how do I help this writer tell the story that they want to tell? Right? Because this matters to them. And so I take that on and I take it seriously because I handle it with care, because TV right now is so hard. It's so hard to sell. It's so hard to get things made. They're just slashing things left and right. So everything that I do in my job, I'm very like, even more so than I was before, I'm very mindful.
But this is that time where it feels heavier. Where we're
it's
all trying to figure out.
Yeah,
I mean, exhaustion. It's cyclical. And I think a lot of people are asking themselves, what's my individual responsibility, and in the midst of all these things going on. But then what if you can't show up as your best self?
Yeah, you've pinpointed, because that's my fear. And that takes energy too. Being fearful of not bringing my best self forward. So I don't know. Overall, like I'm all right. I'm doing okay, but there are moments where I'm just like, can I just sit in the closet in the dark for 5 minutes?
Right? Or for 5 hours, or 5 for 5 days,
or for 5 days. But I just I think you know what it is. I know exactly what this is. Actually, you've helped me figure this out. I think I just need to, because what I've been doing so long is doing like affirmations and then listening to Grace Oasis and then like listening to the word every day. And I think it's because I just need to do more of it. Right. Because I think at one point there's a certain level where you do the minimum, and it works for a while. But then because you get so much out of it, you want more of it. And I think that's what I'm probably zeroing in on now, is that I need to spend more time meditating, more time affirming,
recharging your spirit.
And yes, I think that's what it is. So the 20 minutes, that ain't enough. I need to probably do like an hour, like no joke. So I need to find more time to do that.
Yeah, and that's a hard thing too, finding time. I was thinking about that because I mean, you have a family, you know, that you're responsible for. And thankfully for me, you know, I have more flexibility, I think, than you do. But even with that additional flexibility, I feel like I am always running late. I'm always overextended. And yet I still wanted to have my expansion projects. I still want to I still want to grow. And so maybe that's this, you know, just sort of uncomfortable thing that comes along with having not maxed out, but you're already doing the most. And then you still want to be able to grow. And growth is just is just uncomfortable.
Yep. I think that's what it is.
But you have to recharge yourself.
Yeah,
in the midst of it, I guess.
I need to recharge. But we'll see. This is what this is,
Do you agree? Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes, I do agree.
Well, what are you on right now?
Well, as you know, it's Black Music Month. Not Black Music History Month, like I said last week, but it's Black Music Month still. And I'm taking a page out of your book. You put us on to Cecile yesterday. Yes. And so I wanted to put you guys on to an artist that I really like and have been listening more and more to. And her name is Rachel Chinouriri. I really hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She's British-Zimbabwean singer. And to give you an idea of what her sound is, imagine if SZA and Coldplay and Olivia Rodrigo had a little sister.
Oh, wow.
That's Rachel.
That sounds dope.
She's like sad girl, but with humor. So she's not like emo just to be emo, but like she's quite clever with her wording. She says that a lot of her influences are from artists in the early 2000s. And you clearly see it, especially with this music video. She has one of my favorite songs. It's called Never Need Me. But the video is like a scene out of all of those high school rom-com movies that were really popular in the early 2000s. Yeah. Like She's All That. You know what I mean? So her songs would have definitely been played at the end of like every episode of Dawson's Creek or Felicity.
Say less. I got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally understand.
That is who Rachel is.
Okay.
So I encourage you to check her out. Like I said, Never Need Me is a song that I literally play over and over again. It's not because I relate to it now, but it's something I related to in the past. And so it's a little nostalgic anyway. But anyways, she also has a song called All I Ever Asked. And then another one called Dumb Bitch Juice.
Dumb Bitch Juice.
Dumb Bitch
I need to
juice.
listen to that because I need to understand the context. I mean, it's like, is it something you drink or don't drink? Or are you saying like, is it like you sipping on that?
I will leave it to y'all to discover what Dumb Bitch Juice is about.
I mean, I could go on for days. Like, is that what I drank in my 20s? I mean, was it for my drinks laced? My whole 20s, everywhere I went.
Was your drink laced with Dumb Bitch Juice?
My whole 20s. All of my 20s. All of the drinks.
Like, was that what was on?
Was that what I was? Oh, that's what I was drinking. That's what was in. That was what was in the purple punch. And okay.
Oh my gosh, Jayne, that was hilarious. She's like, so that's what I was drinking? Dumb bitch juice. Anyways, I'm fixing my headphones. But anyways, yes, Rachel Chinouriri. That's who.
Rachel Chinouriri. Well, thank you for putting us on. I gotta find somebody new for next week. It's like I feel like now we have a thing going.
Yeah. Like, let's start introducing people to new artists. I love it.
Let's add one more thing to the list.
Yeah, why not?
I'm sure I can find someone else. I mean, it's got to be American music. So I've got or maybe not. Maybe it could just be diaspora. And I thought Burna Boy has a new song.
Oh, I think I heard it the other day.
Yeah. So I was super excited about that. And I was like,
I think it showed up in my because I walk with Afrobeats, so I think it
yeah.
showed up in my my thing, and I was like, oh, this is Burner Brother. I don't know this one.
I know it was on my I do a R&B workout playlist, and I was like, is it you Burna Boy? Okay.
I love me some Burner Boy.
Me too. Hello.
Hello. Um, so going into minding my black business.
Minding my black business. Well, I can kick this off with a follow up from last week. So I was so excited about the See Some World trips, and I was talking about Dimitri Lucas does Ghana.
Yes.
And left out the incredible story of KLA Travel, which is actually a freestanding company that, and a freestanding lifestyle brand that partners with Demetria as her travel partner for these trips.
Right.
And so there's so much more to tell. They do so much more than travel. So I went to supplement because I think a lot of people probably heard that last week and were like, well, if the trips are sold out, what am I going to do for 2025?
Right.
Well, let me tell you. So KLA was founded by Davida Selby, and she's a Ghanaian American woman and has a history working with Condé Nast, with beauty companies, lifestyle publications. And so she decided to start her own brand that started with skincare. And so this expanded into travel, but it's very, very cool what had happened here.
Ooh.
So the company is named after her grandmother, sister, and mom. So Kate stands for her grandmother, Lynn is her sister's middle name, and Adwa is her mom's Ghanaian name. So Adwa is a common Ghanaian name. So I believe that's also Dimitri Lucas's Ghanaian name, but it's a lot of people's Ghanaian name because it's customary in Ghanaian culture to be named after the day of the week that you were born on. So Adwa means born on a Monday. So there are a lot. So if you hear somebody and there's born on a Sunday, there's born on a Tuesday. So people have common names in common because it's often named after the day that they were born. So
dope.
So on the KLA site, there's skincare. There are other trips to Africa this year that are not sold out. So that was the most important thing. Yes. And there's one that I saw that was over the December holiday from December to New Year's, which evidently is like one of the most popular times to be in Ghana.
Yes. Facts.
So, we were doing a lot of research. I'm overdue for a trip. I told you we were doing a lot of research in writing The Best Man, which one of them was how to name our Ghanaian characters. So that was part of the reason.
That's why you know that born on a specific day of the week.
It's super common. So yes. So there are other trips that are not sold out on the website, that some of which I've been investigating, and particularly the end of the year trip. So if you heard our segment last week and you're like, what, how do I get down? You can go to the KLA site, Kate, Len, and Adwa, and check out the skincare products. There's shea butter moisturizer, body butter. And there's a foaming black soap that for face. Yes, foaming black soap, facial soap. I'm all about it. So I think I'm ordering that. I'm checking that out.
Yeah, black soap is great.
I've never seen foam, but I've never seen it foaming.
Me neither.
So
that's dope.
Yeah, so for your foam and for your FOMO. If Africa is on your bingo card for 2025, you can still go. You see what I did there?
I saw what you did there.
For your foam and your FOMO.
Foam and FOMO. Well, thank you for updating last week's Mind of My Black Business with this new info, because I didn't know about the skincare. Now I got to go online and look at the skincare line. This is awesome.
And they have a full-time staff in Ghana.
What?
Yeah, so it's not just like these, like one-off trips. Like, it's really a consistent thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love this for them. Okay.
Yeah,
we're going to offline this off the end of the year trip, though. That sounds
I know we need to review.
So y'all, I just hear big back playing in the back in my head. This is because the next thing I'm going to put y'all onto it's ice cream. There is a Black owned ice cream shop that offers ice cream making workshops that are travel inspired and boozy.
And boozy.
And
you get your ice cream boozy. And lit.
Yes. That's exactly that. So the owner, her name is Deninne, during the pandemic, she started making ice cream as a way to just, because
what else make you sourdough.
Yes, we don't, not sourdough, ice cream. So she got really good at it. And I'm paraphrasing the history here, so hopefully I get it right. But she started making ice cream. She was making it for her family, her friends. She was then incorporating flavors of her travels in the past. And then it was like, it unlocked memories within her that she realized that her uncle used to make ice cream, handmade ice cream and all that jazz. So eventually her family and friends were like, you should just make this into a business. And so she did.
Wow.
So it's called Solo Scoop Creamery.
Solo Scoop Creamery.
Mm-hmm. I think it's on Flatbush in Brooklyn.
Okay, BK. Do they ship? We need to know about this.
I don't believe they ship.
Do we have to take a pilgrimage to the BK?
In fact, I am going to New York in August. So
I am going in July.
So we should both
take a trip.
Take a trip and test out this class.
If I can make it there in the time, which I'll talk about later why I would be in New York in July.
Yes.
But okay, I'm putting it on the radar.
Putting it on the radar. So the class, it's really cute. So you get 2 pints of ice cream. One of them is your own bespoke flavor of ice cream, and the other is what it's part of the actual. That's why you go for the class, because it's inspired by flavors around the world. The video that I saw, I think it was like the Caribbean. So they had sorrel, I want to say, and like a couple of other flavors that they would put, mix into their pints of ice cream. And then they would give you this little passport with the recipe of the ice cream that you made.
That's so cute.
Very, very cute. This screamed perfect for date night, perfect for you and your girls.
Big back season.
Perfect for expanding your back. Which is
or not. I mean, look, serving size, have a serving, not the pint. The pint is not the serving.
Yeah, that ain't happening. I'm happy with the pint. They also have vegan options too. And so you can partake if you're vegan. But this was what was written on her website, and I was like, yep, that's a word. So she said, this creamery was born out of a way to take care of myself during a time where it felt like there was no way out. Build Solo Scoop into your self-care routine and taste the world one scoop at a time. So eating ice cream as self-care is a word. And
it is. And there's no big bag shaming over here, because listen.
None. There's no shame.
It is what it is.
We don't shame big backs.
My back is big, right now. I'm like, it is what it is. It accordions.
And it's a beautiful back.
It is. I mean, you gotta love yourself at every stage, in every way.
And every size, 100%.
So
100%.
Yes, but habits and goals. I feel like we contradict ourselves all the time.
It's fine, we're human.
I'm like, do your habits match your goals? And then what about that ice cream though? Because I am gonna have some ice cream and a little bit of cake and a couple of squares of chocolate, because that's just my self-care and mental health.
That's right.
Supplement.
But it's all about balance, right? It's all about portion control. It's all about, you don't have to eat it every day.
I do have to eat chocolate every day. I do. It's a supplement. I take my vitamins. It is a supplement. It is my nutrition.
She's like, I don't know about you. Speak for yourself.
It's a food group.
It is. Chocolate is a food group.
You'll never take my chocolate away.
Seriously. You're right. I actually had dark chocolate last night. It was delicious.
It's so important.
I love it. But yes, so Solo Scoop Creamery in Brooklyn, ice cream workshops, boozy. Go for yourself. We are going. I'm going in August.
We'll
I
compare
can't
notes.
wait. I can't wait. So let's get into Jesus Take the Wheel.
Jesus Take the Wheel. Well, you have one, and then mine's a bit longer. So
I am very upset about the news of Ananda Lewis passing.
yeah,
And I'm going to keep it short because I've been crying. I don't know why. It's just really, oh my God. I don't know why I've been crying about her. But, you know, I'm an 80s baby. The 90s raised me. And one of my earliest memories of television is watching BET as a younger kid and watching this beautiful woman on screen. And she was like a big sister. I already have a big sister who I love dearly, but Ananda was that cool girl. She was that girl before we even started saying whoever is that girl. Teen Summit, and then, MTV VJ. She was so dope. Like, and to hear the stories from her closest friends who have not one bad word to say about her, just confirms like how I thought of her, or how we all mostly thought of her. And it's just sad. You have people who are just dying, like earlier and earlier. And because growing up, I don't know about you, but like I felt like cancer was always an old person's thing.
Yeah. No, it's definitely I feel like you're hearing more and more about it in a way that in particular, I mean, I have two friends that have passed away from breast cancer already. And it's devastating, and I think the message that they've all had was about not just prevention, but also taking all the measures that you could possibly take at the time to aggressively deal with it should the unfortunate event happen. And I think that was part of what Ananda's message was also, in that she had some things in the course of the illness progression that she might have done differently. And I think she, in being transparent and sharing that message, that's very much a part of her legacy, where it is so brave to be able to say, I wish I had done things differently.
Yeah.
And if that can save somebody else, then, let me offer that, that piece of vulnerability. And so, she definitely shaped so much of the 90s. And so I think leaving us with the message that she did, and the bravery and the transparency and the love is something to remember anew about her. I mean, just that bit of courage, not bit of courage, but that tremendous courage. So
rest in peace, Ananda.
Yeah, rest
Thank
in peace.
you for just being an example of Black girl flyness.
Black girl fly. She seriously, she was that. Yes. Well, and then we're in the Jesus Take the Wheel segment. This is a hybrid between health and healing, which we're kind of talking about health and healing, where, we always a reminder for checkups and keeping current with all of your appointments. And I also, hybrid health and healing, Jesus Take the Wheel, wanted to talk a little bit about environment. And this starts with the connection between violence and environment, and is rooted in an article this week by Malcolm Gladwell in the New Yorker. So we'll be putting you on to intellectual type things. First of all, we were saying, using the word ennui. Okay. You know, we got two Black girls speaking French talking about ennui. And now we're talking about the New Yorker.
Yes.
So an article in the New Yorker that sounds
Also
so
by
erudite.
Malcolm Gladwell, who's
by
like
Malcolm, right. We sound so erudite right now.
What would you call him? Like a social scientist?
Sure. I would call him a sociological DJ, because I think he remixes a lot of people's discoveries, research, and then like puts his own bent on it. So he's like the DJ Nice of sociology.
I'm sure Malcolm Gladwell will never
the D Nice
ever
of sociology.
That is. I hope he finds this clip and someone says,
DJ Nice, but D Nice of sociology.
You are the D Nice of sociology.
He is.
Amazing.
I think he would agree with that.
Amazing. I love this. Okay, so what is he
he's
saying?
A remixer. He remixes, and he puts it in a way that like has a fresh take on it, and you bop your head. You're like,
you're right. You're like, yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Right. So the New Yorker article, Malcolm Gladwell's New Yorker article, came to me in my feed via. It was a random suggestion from McKay Williamson on Instagram, who is an art dealer. I do not follow him, but
that is a really random way.
But this all ties together. Okay, so in the New Yorker article, so Malcolm Gladwell is reviewing a book and puts his spin on it. He gives us the remix, Unforgiving Places by Jens Ludwig. So you're probably never going to read this book, but you probably should. So we're going to give you the lowdown real quick.
Okay.
Courtesy of Malcolm Gladwell. You should read the article, and I'm going to put the article in the show notes because it has some really interesting insights. But basically, the article and the book introduces this distinction between crimes that typically happen with planning versus other crimes that typically happen as what's called expressive violence. So that's like emotionally incited, in the moment, heat of the moment type of violence, right? As opposed to pre-planning, and you're considering all of the options and you decide to do the violence anyway.
Right.
Most violence, or decide to do the crime anyway. So most violent crimes are this type of expressive violence. And so I would offer, which one do you think that most murders often are? Like where you're planning, not planning or plotting. It's really most often this expressive violence, where it's like emotional. Right. Like people aren't thinking like, well, if I, kill this person,
I mean,
let me think.
Are thinking about it, but they're not.
My odds of doing a life sentence are, they're not doing that type of calculation in their mind.
Unless they're a serial killer. But yes, most of them
there's so few.
That's right.
Relative to the actual number of murders that happen. So if you were guessing expressive violence for murders, then you would be right if you're listening. So I definitely encourage everyone to read the entire article, and it's currently not paywalled on the New Yorker's website, so you can do it now. Click through now in the show notes. But long story short, researchers found that the most violence in certain cities was concentrated to, or most cities was concentrated to a very few specific blocks. And that concentration was consistent over time. So meaning like people moved in, move out, get old, pass away, are born, new generations. It was consistent. And the discovery led them to uncover the role of the place in inciting violence over just attributing it to people, like saying, oh, this person's a super predator, or these types of people have a propensity to violence. It's not that, it's the place. And the place engenders certain things, and it's not just inherently about certain people, which is, we have this wiring to start thinking about this individualism, like, they're just bad people. It's not, it's much more complicated than that. So as an example, enter a neighborhood collective in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or horticultural society, or horticultural society. And so they have a transforming vacant lots project. So they make green spaces out of abandoned lots in neighborhoods. They really beautify the space, and they turn these like vacant lots and other spaces into green spaces where the community can congregate and get together. Dope. It improves the aesthetics, but it also does something more than that. It it increases the places where the community can connect to each other. So when they did this greening of vacant lots in the neighborhood and aesthetic improvement, gun violence dropped by 29%.
No way. 29%?
Dropped by 29%. And so
just by making the vacant lots.
No other changes. No changes. No other changes. Not
So
changes in policing.
So
or
when
anything
you
else.
say so when you say they turn them into green spaces, you can walk through them, you can sit, you can
yeah, it's
play.
Beautified, right?
Wow.
It starts even just the aesthetic of the neighborhood starts to look better. It's gone from looking like a rundown place to a place with green spaces and parks and fencing and art and just a different kind of environment. It's literally just 29%.
What's the time frame of this?
They didn't give me. That's not. I mean, I would read the article for more info, but
okay,
I think the rest of the information is probably in the book, which you're probably not going to read. So I'm not sure what the time frame is, but I would presume it's a relatively short period of time because it was a specific project of creating these green spaces in the neighborhood.
Amazing.
So it was measurable over this amount of time with no other changes. And another example. Upgraded lighting reduced serious crimes in a New York City housing project by 35%. Upgraded lighting.
So when you say upgraded lighting, is it basically just simply replacing the bulbs?
Yeah, making it a little bit brighter.
That's it.
A little bit brighter. Yeah, exactly.
You said 35%?
35%. So this is all it's environment, but it's also a little bit more than that. So those two examples are not the exact point of the article or the book, which is a lot more complex, and it delves into other solutions to violence like behavioral modification, adjustments to the criminal justice system to help people better internalize consequences. But the gist of it is this. You may feel like you're an individual and that everyone else is too, but the reality is that you are a product of your thoughts and emotions, and your thoughts and emotions are a product of your environment and connection to others.
Right.
So for the Jesus Take the Wheel transitioning into health and healing, just food for thought, as if the environment can play such a significant role in serious crime, what might your environment or your isolation, your assumptions about others, how might that be affecting your life? And is there room for improvement? Is there one small thing you can do today to spruce up your own life, like adding a colorful throw pillow, even that small, or a piece of art that transforms the energy in your home, or just even saying hello to one new person that increases your connection to the community? So that is the backed by science in the remix, Malcolm Gladwell's remix of the mix of the of the book. But he does a great job of kind of giving you the gist of a book that you probably might not pick up.
Right.
But the information in there is really, really important to think about and hear and synthesize down to something accessible. Is just really thinking about the importance that your environment affects you and your connection to your community affects you. And there are very small things that can be done to improve both of those things, as small as, just straightening up your place or adding a pop of color or a piece of art or, something decorative, or saying hello to one new person. And for me, being in an old new neighborhood,
right,
I have met all of my neighbors walking my dog, and the sense of community that I feel, just saying hello and have, based on relative to when I could have not said hello or not known anybody, has been a night and day difference in how I felt about where I am.
And and yourself. Like it's feeding your soul, your spirit.
It has been.
I mean, I've told you this. Every time I see you, I'm like, you are looking great. Like your skin is skinning.
Thank you.
Like you look so happy.
I'm a lot happier. I mean, I've been addressing, I think I had to do something radical to address and shake off what pattern I was in. And, and part of it is making the most of, the circumstances of now. But part of it is just releasing some of the things that I felt like had a hold on my energy, And sometimes that is like a radical shit. Maybe it's a vacation, maybe it's packing all your shit into storage and moving to a different state.
Becoming a stay-at-home daughter.
You know what I mean?
I love it.
Or no, whatever your version is of that.
I really I love Malcolm Gladwell, and so I at one point when in my old job I wanted to do a show about the worst decisions in sports history. From Malcolm Gladwell's perspective, and I just really love how he like, to your point, remixes things that we already know, but then he offers all of these factors while he's, like to your point what you just said, and how that plays into something. It's never just one thing. Obviously, we know this, but it's always so great to hear it from his perspective, because it's like, of course, it's a confluence of things. It's not just ever one thing, right? So yeah, I'm really excited to read this article. Thank you.
And it's great. It's not paywalled, so whatever the time is now, check it out if you can. The link will be in the show notes. So health and healing.
Health and healing this week. Shout out to Shay Omanijo on IG for this. She is the founder of this thing called Analog Social. I think it's still in the beginning stages. I think it was like a Harvard business incubator thing, but essentially Analog Social, speaking of your environment, if you are a founder, if you're a solo founder, it's supposed to be an in-person network, right? Where you can meet other solo founders and grow your companies by what she says, by growing your social circles. So through dinners, through seminars, co-working sessions, all that jazz. So here's what happened. Shay was negotiating a contract. And at some point, things went left. They weren't aligning about the number. Whatever the number was, it just wasn't, the math wasn't mathing.
The math wasn't mathing.
And then homegirl was like, I'm going to invoke Harvard Standard Time. And I'm like, well, what is Harvard Standard Time? Do you know? Because you went to Harvard Law. Is this a thing?
And I took the negotiation workshop when I was at Harvard Law School also, but they did not teach Harvard Standard Time. So what is that? What is it?
So Harvard Standard Time, and I want to make sure I get this right. Okay. Yeah. It's a tongue-in-cheek tradition where classes would start 7 minutes later. So if a class started at 10, it really started at 10:07. And so it's like this unofficial grace period for students to get to and from classes, because apparently the campus is pretty widespread or something like that. So
is this an undergrad thing, or
I think it's an undergrad?
Okay,
undergrad thing.
The law school is not spread out. So the undergrad campus is spread out. So I understand that.
Right. Yeah. So basically that's what she did. She invoked Harvard Standard Time, which means that essentially she kind of walked away from it. She kind of she didn't rush into closing the negotiation, closing the contract, closing the deal. She kind of took her time. That's what it was. She kind of took her time. And lo and behold, 10 minutes later, well, this is what she said. She said, you know what, guys, I'm going to think about this for a second. Let me circle back. 10 minutes later, they called back and they agreed at whatever number that she wanted. Right? And I was like, yes.
Take a step back.
State your rate and take a break.
State your rate and take a break. You know what? There's something that happened recently where I completely relate to this, where, I mean, you have to, at a certain point, set your value and know that is what it is, and not give over to thoughts of anything other than what, because I think it's a difference when especially when you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking about the value of your time. That is your rate, because you know the value of your time because it's opportunity cost, and you know what your opportunities are or what you can create in the relatively near future. So when you go below that, then that's fear-based thinking where you're thinking, what if I actually can't do
Right.
what I know I can create in value going forward.
Right.
So I understand that, where it's like you have to choose one or the other. You know, you're either going to be rooted in your value and the value you create as an opportunity creator and manifester, or you're going to be rooted in fear and you don't believe that you can create those opportunities, and then that's not your right. That's not your value.
Now, if you're in the
one or the
former, right,
Mm-hmm.
just let the silence do the talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just shut up. And that's what she did. She knew her value. She was like, all right. She said I think she said she was comfortable with the idea of walking away. Like, if it doesn't work out, it's fine. And I think, to your point, you have to not be rooted in this fear that if I don't do something, it's going to go away. I always say what's for you was for you.
That is so true. That is really true.
So billionaires have been talking about this for years. And so there's this one billionaire, because when she said that, it actually triggered, because there's another YouTube channel that I follow. There's a YouTube channel I follow called School of Hard Knocks, and they always interview billionaires. I've talked about this with you guys. So
that's really exploded in popularity lately. I mean, Will Smith was on, and Tom Cruise, and
that's right. I saw the Tom Cruise one, because homeboy just be knowing. So he spoke to a billionaire named Stephen J. Klubeck, and he is the CEO of like a timeshare company. And he said, when the deal is ripe, it solves itself. Put the pen across the table and shut up. And shut up. And that applies to everything, not just like salary expectations or anything to do with business. But I think that like I said, state your rate and then take a break. Like, you should use that for your relationships. You should do that with your friendships, because we talked about friendships. You should do that with everything. Like, know your worth.
Set your standard.
And just 10 toes down, let that do the talking.
Communicate your standard, and that's it. Don't explain, don't justify. It is what it is.
That part. So, like giving our homework.
Nikki T's challenge of the week.
Just basically, what is it in your area that you really need to stop over explaining and stop rushing into?
Ooh. Now that is a word. That is really a word. What is it in your life that you need to stop over explaining? Once you've stated your expectations, what in your life do you then over explain after that? When you needed to just state your rate and take a break.
State your rate and take a break.
Dang, girl. Well, I mean, that applies to everything.
That's what I'm saying. Everything. So
except for Aquariuses.
Except because Aquarius has been knowing, apparently. Okay.
Because again, I feel like this is No, I'm just kidding.
What did you say? Astrologically dependent?
It was astrological sign dependent. I'm just what to say. Yeah, that was my little asterisk. I was like,
Well, if you're in Aquarius, you be knowing. So
last episode, if you're listening to this episode, you need to listen to episode number 25, our big 25. Then go back and listen, because then you'll know what we're talking about.
It was a doozy. I loved it. So let's get into what's good, aka Delulu Land.
Delulu.
I'm excited about this one.
Well, the best man book that I'm going to be talking about this. If you're tired of talking about this, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry to you. Listen, I have been a fan of this series since 1989, and I'm overjoyed with excitement that, first of all, the story continues, and beside the fact that I got to participate in creating it, but it is so good. So the reviews are coming in. My dad's reading the book. He read it in 4 days. People said they read it in 2, and look at how thick this is. It's like
it's a thick ass book.
It's so good. It's meant to unfold like a movie in your mind. So when I see people coming back in their reviews and saying exactly that, like, this unfolded like a movie in my mind, I'm like, yes.
Mission accomplished.
I know, so excited. So anyway, yesterday, this week, the tour dates drop. So if you're looking for a time to get your book signed, come hang out, meet in person, go to the Best Man Books on Instagram, the Instagram handle, follow Malcolm D. Lee. You can follow me. You can follow Storehouse Voices, Crown Publishing. Go to thebestmanbooks.com. All the information is out there. There's no excuse for you not to show up at a city near you on this tour. You're going to want to. There'll be special surprise guests, and it's going to be a time. It's going to be a time.
A time will be had.
A time will be had, honey. But this whole thing is just so exciting to me. Am I the only one that's, I'm like, it's not just me, is it? I'm like, this is exciting.
This is very exciting. Are you kidding?
It's exciting for the culture.
Yes.
I'm like, this is a moment.
This is a moment. Like, I'm ready. Like, I want to see who the surprise guests are. I want to see. I see Essence is going to be a stop on the tour.
Yes,
like, I'm ready to go.
Oh, Essence Fest, I know. And then so that was why I'm going to be in New York. So we're launching at the Schomburg Center. Bevy Smith is going to be the In Conversation host with Malcolm.
I love that. I didn't know about Bevy.
Yes, I'm just like, it's gonna be a time. I just think we need this. It's like a time of healing. I think that's what's on my spirit. It's just like we need this good. It's like a refueling station for the culture, and I think we need this. And I'm so excited to be a part of it. I'm just like so excited for it because I think it's going to be that some kind of recharge through art and culture for the culture.
Yes.
And so so that is it's Delulu because we don't know who the surprise guests are, and you can have your Delulu expectations of who the guests might be because you might be right.
I am here for it.
Yes or no?
Yes, I agree. I am so excited. The tour looks amazing. I think there's a Martha's Vineyard stop.
Yes. Washington D.C.
There's an LA stop at the Ripped. Is it the Ripped Bodice?
Yeah. So I don't know where the actual event will be. It might not be within the store because it might be bigger than the store capacity. But
I'm so excited.
Yes.
Let's go.
Very exciting.
Let's go. So for my what's good, I'm very annoyed that no one told me that the BET Awards was last weekend.
Girl, they moved the date up. That was so.
That's what it was.
All of a sudden, it was upon us.
To be the end of June. It was typically, and all of a sudden, it was like
it just arrived. I was like, it's Monday, and it's on Monday of all. It wasn't. I was like,
what's happening? Because the clips that I went to go see, because people kept, oh my God, BET Awards was so good this year. I was like, what? So I went to go watch it on YouTube, and they did not lie. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, was this the strategy where they're like, we're just going to sneak this in, and then everybody's going to have to watch it on YouTube after
Pretty much. It's working because every single clip is like over 1 million views. But it was hella good. Like Tiana Taylor.
Oh, yeah. Our girl.
Performance was great. Kevin Hart was freaking hilarious. Like top tier Kevin Hart. And then this was the one because Jamie Foxx got the Ultimate Icon Award for his impact in music, TV, and culture. And his tribute. Okay, first off, let's start off. Let me paint the picture for you, and then y'all can watch it on YouTube. It kicked off with Craig Robinson, who is looking quite good.
Craig Robinson?
Craig Robinson, the actor. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yes. Whatever
what?
he's doing, I don't know if him and Lil Rel got the same, I don't know what it is, but he is looking good. Like he's dropped a few.
Really?
He looks younger. He was playing a piano. I forgot he played the piano. He's a singer and musician. They play instruments. I forgot. So he kicked off. He was like an MC for the tribute. So first we had.
Because he's got good genes. Because I will say his brother is a musician. I've seen him perform, and he looked good.
Craig is following suit. Just keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Keep an eye on him.
Oh, watch the space.
Watch the space. So the tribute had Kenneth Babyface Edmonds.
Oh.
And Luda doing what's that song called? Unpredictable? Yes, Unpredictable. Then it went into Tank and Jennifer Sing Like the Rent Is Due Hudson and they were doing Ray Charles's hits because he obviously Jamie played Ray Charles. So like it was what was it? The Right Time and I Got a Woman. And then it closed with Teddy Riley, T-Pain, Doug E. Fresh with Blame It.
Shut up.
Okay.
I need to. Okay.
It's
now
awesome.
I haven't not seen the, because they snuck up on me. I've always watched the BET Awards. I've gone to the BET Awards. In fact, the BET Awards, I'm sorry, like argue with somebody else. But to me, when it's done, when it's a good year, the BET Awards is the best award show you could possibly go to.
Yes, ma'am.
It's the hands down. It's live like that. The energy's there. The after parties are everything. It is. So I don't think I've missed watching a BET Awards. And this year it just snuck up like a thief in the night.
Okay.
And I was like, Monday, the BET Awards are on.
It was
I have to go back and
fabulous.
watch it like everybody else on YouTube.
You should. And Jamie's speech was basically an extension of his special on Netflix. If you've seen it, you know. Mm-hmm. He's crying. His daughters are crying. Everybody's crying. Then he sneaks in a couple of jokes.
Right.
And because, this could have been in a memoriam tribute.
Right. Thankfully.
So for him to see these
moment.
Legends and to give him his flowers, which is something we need to do all the time. Give people their flowers now.
Right.
Okay. Don't wait till it's, we got to wait till they're. No, Jamie has accomplished a lot.
That's right.
And will continue to accomplish. And so it was really beautiful to see him see these legends, Babyface, Teddy Riley, like tributing. And then Stevie Wonder gave him the award.
That's so special.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
So it was great. That was a really beautiful thing to see. And of course, Jamie had to make a joke about Stevie Wonder, which you will see and you will crack up laughing. It was hilarious.
I'm looking forward to it.
He's wild. That man is unwell. But I love him.
He's well now.
He is well. But like in the sense of
he's a fool. He's crazy.
Like, sir, why are you such a fool? Like, it was just so good. His joke, he's great. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do.
I'm excited for him, and he's just so talented. So
extremely.
He deserves it. Well, our final word for this episode. I know you guys are I know everyone feels sad, but we're coming to a close, and you'll have to join us again next week. Check us out. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and check us out on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and all your channels. And we love to hear from you with your thoughts in the comments. Connect with us. This is meant to be a conversation. So thanks for listening. And we have our final word to close.
Yes. So my final word is courtesy of Plant Queen with a KW. Don't shrink to be digestible. Let them choke.
Let them choke. Choke on it. I love it. Well, mine is, what is stopping you from assuming the best in your life? And what best in your life is being stopped by assuming the worst?
Ooh. What best in your life?
I said, what's stopping you from assuming the best in your life? And what best in your life is being stopped by assuming the worst?
Wow. That's a word.
We got to give people food for thought till next week.
Yeah, I should marinate on that.
Pull out the journals.
Pen
we
and
need
paper.
to have we need pen and paper. We need to make journals for when you're out of office.
Yes. As if we don't need another thing to do.
I know. Let's act.
We should, though. We should. In the meantime, y'all, have a great rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.